Welcome to One on One. I'm Greg Bassey, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. Today is a big day here at PAC 14. We've got the most vocal person in our community. There's not a thing he doesn't have an opinion about. John Robinson. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much.
Now, there's something wrong going on in town. Someone has given you a radio show.
Yeah, those fools. I don't know what they were thinking.
Now, you did this before. You had a radio show. You had a newspaper. You have a radio show again. What are you talking about on your radio show?
I've tried everything. Some fail, some succeed. Anything we want. Local stuff.
Local stuff.
Local stuff. Local politics. Local crime rates. We're talking about some national stuff too. Trump in office. We call it Trump Day instead of Hump Day. Wednesdays.
I heard you yesterday say give Trump a chance. I almost drove into a ditch. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, we got to give him a chance. I mean, we gave Barack Obama a chance. He did a good job, and hopefully Trump, if he stops tweeting, maybe he'll do a better job.
He needs to stop tweeting.
He needs to break his fingers.
So when's your show on?
It's on every morning from 7:30 to 9.
And
Monday
where?
through Friday. We broadcast out of the WICO studios over there.
But I'm on the dial. Where am I looking?
Oh, 1320 AM.
The classic 1320, which is the longtime WICO AM.
Yes, and actually, we do Facebook Live too. And we have a lot of people in there. We get a couple hundred viewers a day coming on Facebook Live.
So you're going multimedia?
Yes, multimedia, and you can even do it online too. You can tune in app.
So what's the reaction to the show?
Surprising. I thought it'd just be it's Travis Ayers and myself. I just thought it'd be kind of a fun, quick thing to do. And
now, who is Travis? Let's do that real quick.
Travis is awesome.
Travis is his sidekick, and he...
No, I'm Travis's sidekick. Let's be clear on that one.
Travis is opinionated, but more in the Andy Richter, Ed McMahon way, more.
Travis is awesome. Travis is kind of a country boy from the Pocomoke area, and he's used to do like country music stuff, and he's an IT type guy, more of a behind-the-scenes guy. So it's kind of neat having him on. Definitely get some different opinions.
So you guys kind of banter a little bit.
Yeah, we try to.
Yeah.
We don't see completely eye to eye on a lot of things. Some things we do. I'm surprised at some of the things we do. I guess as I get older, I get more conservative.
Now, I think Salisbury needs a show like this, but you're pretty out there in terms of your views. Like most of us are like, everything's going great in Salisbury, but you have a little bit of a different take on some things sometimes.
Well, Salisbury it's awesome. I love Salisbury. It's my hometown.
And you do love it.
I do. I love Salisbury. I mean, I don't think there's many people that do as much as I honestly do. But I think that there's a lot also going on behind the scenes that we don't see. And because I don't sleep at night and I'm out and about constantly, and not just going to the bars, but out and about constantly, throw that in there, that I see a lot more than most people see. I'm not kidding. I don't sleep. So I go out and drive around.
Why do you not sleep?
I just never have. It's one of those things I just don't do. So I go out and I drive around for a couple hours every night. Just boredom.
And what are you seeing out there?
Man, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put Salisbury down.
I feel like it's better, personally.
I think it is better than it was 5-6 years ago, 10 years ago, but it's getting to the point again where it was 20 years ago, and that's what concerns me. Drugs are really bad in our community right now, and we're seeing that a lot with the heroin, and people are talking about that a lot more than they used to talk about it. Heroin is the crack of the 80s, and we're seeing that a lot more, and I'm seeing it a lot more.
Right, and just in terms of seeing people in the street or in your own business, or
I see it
socially.
Constantly. I see it in every aspect, which I never saw before. I see it with people that are so strung out they need money. I see it with people that are actually friends of mine that I would have never thought.
Yeah.
And even employees that have gotten on drugs, and it's not just younger ones. I mean, you're talking about older people too.
Yeah.
And I've seen older guys that you would never think would even contemplate taking drugs or doing it. So, and I think part of that is the fact that you can go to a doctor and get a prescription for anything, and then all of a sudden they've cut those prescriptions off like overnight. Cut them off.
They did,
and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's been a big backlash in the community.
Yeah, and people are desperate to still get that drug.
They got to have that fix. You can't just walk away from it overnight.
Right.
I mean, it's like with me with coffee in the morning. I can't give it up overnight.
Right.
I mean, it's never going to happen. But and apparently it's so addictive. and talking to people, it's just so addictive that the first time you do it, you're addicted.
And the drug leads to the crime.
It leads to the crimes. It leads to a lot of what's going on in the community, the bad stuff. And unfortunately, there's also money in drugs. I mean, not just, this is the part that kills me, not just the drug dealers, but in the rehabs
Right.
and all the clinics that pop up. I mean, there's people making big money on drugs.
Right.
So I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Right. You've been a little bit critical of the police department lately.
Not really.
Not critical.
No.
Kind of hold them accountable, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
I think our Salisbury Police Department is understaffed. They're a little shorthanded right now.
Oh, they've got 91. What are they supposed to have?
Oh,
Like 101?
yeah, they're about 10, 15
Yeah.
officers short. But it's not just that. What happens is you got vacation, you have sick days, you have all that. You're missing a couple officers on every shift right now.
Right.
And that's a huge difference in a city as small as Salisbury.
Right.
So, and I'm critical of that. Yeah, we need more police. We need more police presence. So.
And and there's been a lot of debate about the community policing. I get the sense the cops don't want to do the community policing. Some of the leadership doesn't, but the politicians do. They want the officers to be more in the neighborhoods.
Well, to me, there's a misnomer about community policing, and that's that the cops get to go out there and ride around and shake hands and kiss babies like politicians, but they don't. When you're out there community policing, a lot of times they're making enemies on the street, and they're irritating some of the local people in the neighborhoods, and also, unfortunately, a lot of times they're not doing anything. They're just that's all they're doing. They're not really enforcing the laws, or because they don't want to offend those people in the community.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a give and take. I don't mind community policing, but at the same time, I think it just seems like right now we don't have enough officers to do community policing.
Right. I wonder about that because we've talked about Bull before, Bull Hudson, Eric Hudson, who's the downtown cop,
Right.
basically. And we all enjoy him. He's a great ambassador for the police.
Right, and you just said he's a great ambassador. But I mean, Bull's not going to go out there and write you a ticket, a parking ticket.
Well,
and,
no, he got me recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hasn't got me lately. But I mean, Bull's job is to be that ambassador, and he does a fabulous job. I mean, everybody loves him. I mean, who does? You're not supposed to love your police officers. I mean, you're not. You're supposed to be friends with them.
But the whole Doverdale thing is a love your police officer thing. This is where Matt Messerella, the judge, formed a lacrosse league up in a troubled neighborhood. And the cops are involved. Law enforcement is there with these kids, trying to head off problems, and it seems like it's working.
It seems like it's working. I mean, I get you. It seems like it's working.
What are you really hearing?
I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Listen to the scanner and listen to the problems. And they call for backup when they're out there because they're having fights and stuff. And you're going to have that. We have all of this. To me, and I go right back to it, all of this is because we have zero discipline starting in our school system.
Right.
And I keep going back to this. Something I go back to
Right.
on the show all the time. And
your wife being a teacher, you know this firsthand.
I do. Not just that. I mean, I just see it. The kids, they mouth off to their parents if they have a parent, and it's scary. I mean, and that's the kids that are going to be. That's who's paying my Social Security down the road, and it's scary. I mean, they don't have any respect whatsoever.
Yeah. Just a real quick Bull story. Bull Hudson, there were some homeless people who, during the day, they have to wander around. They can't be in the shelters. They do wander around a little bit. And over where I used to have my office on Market Street, it was a rainy day, and they were doing a rehab on an office building next door. So they had put a bunch of office furniture in this dumpster. And the homeless people took the furniture out and put it underneath that pavilion thing on Market Street, Market and Baptist Street. And they were like hanging out in there. It was like the living room in their house.
Right.
And after a while, there was like 40 people in there. So one of the neighbors called called him directly, and he just went over there and just like looked at him, and they put everything back in the dumpster and went away. He never had to say a word.
That's hilarious.
But it was just that sort of dynamic was really interesting to watch.
Well, and that's one of the issues that we've got to address in Salisbury. I know they're trying to address it, but the homeless people and with compassion too. But you can't walk around downtown without somebody begging you for money.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. It has to be like that. You shouldn't have to have that. And that's our police don't have time to kind of shoo them along.
Right.
But at the same time, if you go by and you see 20, 30 homeless people hanging out, do you really want to open a business there?
Right.
I mean, that's a concerning issue.
That could definitely be an issue. Have you talked to the mayor about this? What's he say?
Oh, I know, absolutely, and that's one of the reasons he's addressing it with some of the things that he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a whole new homeless prevention program where they go after everything and they try and help people out. So I mean,
And it's a high-level program, though.
Yes.
It's pretty sophisticated. It's
Yes.
working. It's great success.
and I saw Mayor Day just walk over to a homeless person and tell them about it one day.
Right.
The problem is that a lot of our homeless aren't just homeless; they're kind of crazy.
Oh, they're all crazy.
And
Yeah.
I don't say all, but some of them. I've been homeless. Well, I'm probably a little crazy
I'm pretty
too
close
when I
to
was
homeless.
a kid.
Yeah.
So, they're trying to do things, but at the same time, we have to have a little more of an iron fist, I think. I know that sounds horrible to say, but we do if we want Salisbury to be the great city that it can be.
That's funny because a homeless guy just recently said to me, he asked if I knew the mayor, and I said, yeah, I sort of do. And he said, well, he's such a great guy. He goes, I love being here because he's such a great mayor. And I'm like, well, maybe the mayor should be meaner to you. Because but that's not the answer. The answer is to try to get these people on the right course.
Right, it is, and at the same time, compassion, but compassion with a little bit of rules. I mean, you can't have homeless people just hanging out and sleeping on the plaza at night. You can't have it. I mean, you've got too many people living there now to have that. So what do? I mean, you don't want them under the bridges. I mean, they've shooed them away from there. They shoot them here and there. And you look at the Halo Center. I mean, it's a great thing that's going on. But even the church that's over there moved out because of a lot of the issues going on with the Halo Center.
Right.
So, and again, a great thing. But if you hear the police calls all day, going to the Halo Center, going to the Halo Center. I mean, it causes a lot of problems. And look at Giant, or Acme, I guess now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had to hire their own private security because there's so many problems over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people stopped going to that shopping center because of the homeless.
Well, that guy, he's really solved all those problems. I have a rack right there, so I'm very, I pay a lot of attention to that. And he solved all the problems in the parking lot.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's as far as I can see.
Well, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
And people need to know that because I know, like for myself, I don't go over there like we used to. We used to go to Acme all the time, or Giant all the time. And we just don't go there anymore because every time you go there, can I have $1? I give you a penny if you give me $1. I mean, the one guy always comes up with the same guy. It's like, dude, I just gave you money last week, or the other day. So,
is it this way everywhere?
I don't know. I really don't.
I know Ocean City has a problem.
I mean, everybody seems to have a problem, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of other communities you don't see it as much.
Right.
And maybe that's what you see it in Salisbury more. I mean, maybe our homeless are a little more brazen. And look, like I told you, I've been on both sides of it. I know what it's like. I was a little kid, so I understand what it's like. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, and you got to give people a leg up. You got to help them out the best you can. So I think the new programs are good, but at the same time, if you're not strict with some of the homeless people with coming to the same place over and over again, why? If you're not going to enforce the laws or the rules, then why are they not going to listen to you?
Right.
It's go to Main Street. Same guy's begging out there every day.
Right.
He's been shooed away. I don't know how many times. They put a little fence up out there. I don't know if you've noticed. They put a little fence up out there, and now it says on the opposite side, no loitering. So he stands on the opposite side of the fence in the roadway now.
Right.
It's just not safe, and the police just drive right by. That's what I can't stand.
They took the sign down, right?
No, there's a sign
There's
right there.
still a no loitering or no
Absolutely.
panhandling sign?
Absolutely. It's right on the opposite side of the fence. You can't read it from the road, but it's right on the fence.
Interesting. One of the things you're in favor of is something I support, a countywide police force.
Oh, absolutely. Multiple reasons. One, it saves money. That's the number one reason. But number two, you only need so many supervisors. It puts that many extra people in the street, actually policing the streets. And it saves millions over the course of time. It really does. Over a course of a year, it saves a lot of money. But it puts 3 to 6 officers per shift on the street, additional than what we have now. So why we don't have a community policing? Oh, I know why we don't have a county policing. It's because nobody wants to give up that power position.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of politics involved. But Joe Ollinger, when he ran for county executive 12 years ago, whatever it was, that was one of the things he made a point. If you're going to start the county from scratch, how would you make it different? And the first thing he said was community-wide police. And I hadn't really thought about it till then, but that made sense, like our county-wide police department. But it does make sense.
That absolutely makes sense. Baltimore County did it many, many years ago. It works there. And it incorporates all the different ones. We have so many different police agencies in Salisbury, different ones. It seems silly to have 3 different dispatch units, or really 4 different people doing dispatch. And right now, Fruitland and Delmar rely on the sheriff's department anyway at night. They kick over to sheriff's department.
Right, they don't staff, right.
So it would make sense to go to a one-wide, and it would also help out with, I think, the crime rates with some of the redundancy in going after this person, and then, let me call this person and see, we've already arrested him, and they do in-house reports too.
Right.
So I think it would help. I really do.
Well, they got rid of the Wycomico Bureau of Investigation, which was a coordinated thing.
Right, the WBI.
And I need to dig into that a little bit because I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I feel like the relations are good, but something's gone weird with that. But yeah, I mean, you see it in the crime stats, where some of the community housing in Salisbury is in the county, so it counts in a county stat. It's not the city stat. The city crime stats are all goofy because you've got 30,000 people living here, but 60,000 people using the town every day.
Right.
So it's really hard to compare. I learned forever ago in the newspapers that you really can't use the crime stats to figure out crime around here. You've got to do a county-wide number.
Right, because it's so chopped up and it
Yeah.
looks crazy. It looks like an octopus with his little tentacles going all. It really does if you look
Right.
at the map of the city. So, you know, and I think we go back 2 mayors ago, Barry Tillman, she tried to address that with incorporating a couple of the different agencies together.
Right.
And then Mayor Ireton did the same thing, pulling them together. And I don't know where we stand now with that. I mean, they're still together and that's helped. And I think, you know, we really should look at pulling a lot of those agencies, building, housing and zoning, the urban planning. I mean, it should all kind of be together.
Yeah, well, the mayor in his budget actually has got his own planner, so they're probably going in a different direction in terms of the planning.
Right.
You know.
That's one of the things that does bother me a little bit is that
Yeah.
for years I felt like we were kind of incorporating, but then again, Salisbury is growing. I mean, they say it's one of the 7th fastest growing cities in the
It
United
is.
States.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, think it's Salisbury, and it's not a big town anymore. It's a small city. I say that all the time.
And it's not the Salisbury we know; it's the Salisbury with a whole different personality. I feel like the personality of the town is completely different than the county's personality.
The county's kind of more of a local flavor,
Yeah.
and the people that have been here forever. And the city is really just kind of it's a new, more hipster, energetic, artsy type crowd. It really is. And you're right. You're absolutely right. That's a good point.
You're a smart guy. You could have your business anywhere in America. You choose to have it here. I know you've thought about leaving a few times, but you're still here. How's it going, and why are you here?
I'm still here because of my children. I mean, my children have owned the business now for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I actually work with them and help them out.
Tell people what you do, because you've got a complicated business thing.
It's very easy. We have an old-fashioned jewelry store and an old-fashioned print shop. So, and we combine the two together. So we do, with jewelry, you do clocks, watches, jewelry, and coins. And then on the print shop of the business, we do everything. My wife's family did embroidery for years. So we do embroidery, screen printing, and like banners, signs, like the Salisbury Festival, we just did all
Right.
their signs.
Trophies.
So, trophies, awards. And that goes together with the jewelry business because, as you know, being in the print business, years ago they used to have these big lithographs and these
Right.
big machines, but the old print presses were done by jewelers. They would go to the jeweler in the town and they would make the old metal etching boards.
I did not know that.
They make the old etching boards and that's how they stamp stuff out. And so, you know, years ago, my family did not just jewelry and stuff, but they made the print presses.
Right.
The presses that went on the print, the negatives basically.
In your heart, though, clocks are the thing. Your family business was
Yeah,
clocks.
I love fixing clocks. I mean, I still do. And I've been doing it since I was a little kid. A lot of people say, you know, my kids have been in the business, but I actually have been fixing clocks since I was 8, 12 years old. I mean, I literally knew as much as most of the guys that are 40, 50 that are doing clocks today when I was 8 or 12. So I like it.
I remember your dad in the old store fixing clocks all day.
That's what we did. We just did clocks. Dad would do, you know, some watch and jewelry stuff, but not a lot of that. Just
Yeah.
It was basically a clock shop. It was Salisbury Clock Repair. I mean, that's what it was for years.
You'd see these older women, they'd bring in the clock from the basement and, can you make this thing work? And he'd look at it and go, yeah, I can make it work.
No, my dad loved doing clocks, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
He had that gift for it. He really did, and I got that from him. He passed that on to me. He really did. So, and I'm not kidding. Like, if I had to do anything, I'd rather just stay home and have people bring me clocks to fix all day,
Yeah.
and just work out of the house. But
But it's not exactly lucrative.
no, there's no money. There's no money in clock repair. Thank goodness I'm not just doing clocks right now. I mean, I'd be beyond broke. So no, there's really not a lot of money in clock repair. But it's fun. I mean, I like it, and it's peaceful when you're fixing that. And you know, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Your whole world is there.
You control it, and it's your expertise.
And it's rewarding. I mean, you take something that's 150 years old or 100 years old, even 50 years old, and you fix it, and it's running, and it's moving, and it's operating. That's I don't know. That's kind of
That's
makes
really
you
cool.
feel good. I mean, it does. It's almost like it's alive, but it's not. But it makes you feel good.
Now, you're going to write a column for my paper, whether you want to or not,
Yes, I'll get to that. I promise.
about the old clock shop that was on Route 13.
Yes.
And they tore the building down, which is a tragedy, kind of, I guess. I don't know. The hospital has that property now.
Hospital has that property.
But it was the place. Everyone in the peninsula went there and took their clocks. Let's talk about that a little bit.
All right. Well, my parents moved here, years ago, and Dad literally moved into the basement of that building with the business. He had one room down there. There was Let Hall Mimovac back there. They used to fix vacuums and do mimeographs. Is that the word, mimeographs?
Yeah, it could be.
So you're the print guy. And Dad had the clock shop down there. It was Salisbury Clock Repair, and he just started fixing clocks. Something he learned from my grandfather.
And that's like in the late 50s or early 60s?
Early 60s.
Yeah.
My grandfather, my dad really screwed up. He married the boss's daughter.
Oh, no.
And that got him kicked out. And that's why we're in Salisbury. So I can't fall in love with the boss's daughter. So Dad moved to the shore, and we that's our building. I mean, we were in that building for years, and and we lived in that building too. So I mean, that was our place to be.
Yeah, that was the hub.
And for years, I tell you how. It's on the S curve. Everybody knows by the hospital. A lot of people know that. When I was a kid, people used to park on 13 and come in the store.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how different Salisbury is now. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It really is. And it was a brick building. It was a beautiful building.
Right. Old Hitch Insurance building.
Right.
Had a huge sign that said drive-through insurance, which was like the thing of the day, I guess, back in when Mr. Russell Hitch built it.
Right.
And it was all lit up, and it was amazing. I mean, just the sign that was on there. And it was a historic landmark to me. I'm so sad it's gone. And I was really sad when.
But it's funny how people are, and they don't get it. But when the Hitch Insurance closed and the clock shop moved upstairs, people were like, "Wow, that's a big move for the Robinsons. You think their business is strong enough that they can have that upstairs space?" And well, of course they can.
I thought the same thing. So no, don't get me wrong. I thought the same thing.
But it was, it's only like 400 square feet. I mean,
we went from a room smaller than the studio to like maybe 400 or 600 square feet. Yeah. No, it's amazing how much work we really do. I mean, for not just here, like people come drop stuff off.
Yeah.
So, but I like it.
And you're out at the Twilley Center now.
Yes. Fire.
You moved around a few times.
Oh my goodness.
I liked it when you were downtown.
I love being downtown. And the little background there. We were on 13 for years. When my dad got cancer, I actually bought the building, and my dad got cancer and got sick and passed away. I had to sell the building.
Is that 15 years? How long?
It'll be 15 years this year.
Yeah.
I had to sell the building. I needed the money to pay off his medical bills.
Wow.
And so I sold the building, and I moved into Court Plaza. And then we had the opportunity to move into the huge building, the old Ponderosa up on 13.
Right.
And we moved in there. I loved it there, and unfortunately a fire. And that took us downtown.
Right.
Unfortunately, a flood. I'm waiting for the locust to show up next.
A lot of biblical things going on with you.
Yeah, I know, right? So, but now we have landed in Twilley Shopping Center, and it's amazing.
It's a great location there.
We have our showroom is 6,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Our back room is another 6,000 square feet, and we have a 1,200 square foot room in between. It's awesome. I mean, we have everything under one roof: clocks, watches, jewelry, the coins, the print. It's all there. So we don't have to use the building out in Industrial Park anymore. So I love being under one roof.
Someone said to me the other day that that a lot of us are missing the bad in Salisbury because we are so determined that things be good. We want things to be good. So like Headquarters Live closes and we're like, oh well, we kind of ignore these signs that things aren't as good as we think they are. Do you get that feeling like we want too much for the city to succeed?
I think we get that feeling now because we have such a young, energetic mayor. And I think he's so positive all the time. You never hear anything negative out of his mouth. And that's not a bad attitude to have. But at the same time, let's not forget some of the bad things so that we don't forget those and they don't slip away and they don't become big issues down the road that we have to really address.
Right.
So, and I think that's why. I really do. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. To have energy, to have that kind of positivity in, is that a word? Positivity in the city. I'm not, like I said, you're the man that knows the words.
Not really. Have you ever read the paper? It's a
disaster
every week.
So, yeah, I tried a paper once. Not for me.
How many issues did you make it?
I think 13.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a fun paper. It was needed.
Take $100,000, put it in a pile and burn it. That's about what we did. So I tried.
But what you learned? It's hard.
It is hard being in business. I used to own a basket company. I mean, you don't always succeed.
I still have one of your baskets on my desk.
Isn't that cool?
One. Yeah.
So, I mean, you do all these different things. You hit, you miss, you make money, you lose money.
Yeah.
So hopefully you make more than you lose.
But newspapers are hard. You did learn that.
Oh my gosh, they're beyond hard. They're beyond
You
hard.
thought it was easy, didn't you?
And now I didn't. I thought it would be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And oh man, did I love doing it. And if I could do it again, I would. I just don't have the time or the energy and money.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I relish doing that. It's so cool. Papers are so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing with the papers, I wish they would do more investigative type reporting, more like the Baltimore Sun does. But we're on the shore, we can't do that because if you make somebody mad, they're never going to talk to you again.
You can, but there's, what I see is there's not as many, things are explainable, and I don't see conspiracy in everything like maybe I need to.
No, too many people see conspiracies in too many things.
Yeah.
And especially around here. They really do. It's just because something bad's happening.
Right.
It's not a major conspiracy. It's just not. People need to get a grip about that.
Yeah, there was an issue just recently. Some expired sour cream packs in one of the cafeterias at the school. Exactly.
Say it isn't so.
But these parents thought
Don't go to my fridge at my house. Don't let anybody in the fridge.
these parents thought it was like Watergate.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe like they don't see some of the because there's so much positivity going on. They don't see some of the bad things. So.
Yeah, but I worry the commercial realtors control everything. I've actually been trying to outline a story forever. Who runs Salisbury? Like, who's really in charge? Is it the Greater Salisbury Committee, the House of Lords, or is it the Chamber of Commerce, or is it the commercial realtors, Henry Hanna and those guys, Sperry Van Ness? Are they the secret ones in charge of? Is it you and your business?
Not me.
Yeah, but you're certainly a candidate because you have a voice in town, and I guess you're still a young businessman. You're a young businessman, and you talk a lot about stuff. So or is it Jake Day? Who runs Salisbury? And you can find conspiracies in all these.
Right. No, I get you. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
I hear, Sperry Van Ness controls the commercial account. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And they do. Their signs are on every commercial building just about. But at the same time, they've got a little bit of competition with Rainier and all, but they all get along so well, it's not much.
Right.
Salisbury's still just a small city, and it is what it is. Who runs the city of Salisbury? I think Purdue runs it to a certain
Is
extent.
it Purdue? Is it the hospital?
I do.
Yeah. Is it the university?
The hospital. My mom always said.
I shouldn't get you started on the university.
My mom always said the university and the hospital will one day touch, and she said that when I was a little kid, and she's
It's
right.
close.
They're like this close right now.
It's
so
close.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I love Salisbury University. I live by the school.
Right.
I love the kids. I don't mind a drunk kid peeing in my bushes. It's better than a crackhead living down the street.
Yeah, that was me.
So I thought that looked familiar.
I thought I was in Alberta, but
But I love Salisbury University. It's not, the kids aren't respected enough. That's been one of my pet peeves here.
Right.
The kids here bring the money to Salisbury. They, when they leave, it slows up in Salisbury. But the kids bring money to Salisbury. They bring energy to Salisbury. And they're one of the reasons we can pay our school teachers so little is because we have an education boom here. We can just suck,
True.
brand new talent from the
I'll give you
university to keep our schools going.
Yeah.
So, because you can't do that everywhere. You really can't. So, Salisbury University, people don't get it. That runs our economy in Salisbury. If you want one answer, that would be my answer.
yeah. All right, sum up your show. Tell me when your show's on again.
Oh.
Give the plug.
Travis and I are on every morning. Travis is a great guy. 7:30 to 9.
Can we call in?
Oh yeah, you can call in
All
the
right.
studio.
All right.
And you can.
You put the number on the air at the time.
Yeah, we always
Okay.
do it all the time. And we do the Facebook Live, so you can join us anyway. People even text me during the show. So we don't mind. Any way you want to talk to us. And one of the things I do like is we're interviewing just normal people. People that just own a business or
Right.
they're just work somewhere. Because I want people to know people. And I think that's important. Not everybody's some successful person. And, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story.
Yeah, they do. And I can send Susan over to write a story about it?
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's 1320,
13:20 a.m.
WICO,
WICO.
Rothschild Broadcasting.
Yes, and by Robin Rothschild.
Okay, and it's 7 to...
7:30 to 9 every Monday through Friday.
And you talk about everything. You were talking
do.
about your cat trap yesterday, which I was like, where's he going with this? But I actually ended up laughing and being entertained by
Yeah,
it.
no, we want it to be
It was very
personal.
conversational.
I want people to know my life. I don't mind. I should write a book, but this is good. This is as close as I can get.
Right, that's the only thing you haven't done. You haven't written a book. You've had the newspaper, the
I'm
radio.
working on it. I'm actually doing some memoirs right now.
And I know they're here at Pack 14 today. If you do this well enough, they're going to give you this show.
I don't need a TV show. I don't have the time for it. I'm not working like I used to, but I don't have as much time. I don't know what's going on with that.
That's cool. He's John Robinson from Robinson's Family of Businesses in Salisbury, and he's got a radio show on WICO every morning. Listen to it. It's fun. It's really a lot of fun. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent Newspaper, another edition of One on One right here on Pack 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and one-on-one. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.